Oi!
Behind one. Right side. Clear. In and out. Clear all around. On your right. Clear. Left side. Clear.
Good race, man. Oh! And sent him. There's just fucking... Let's just drive into him like he's not even there. From absolutely nowhere. I gave him room. He was never making a... Yes, that's right. I have been banned, and as you could probably have noticed from the intro, none of them was the actual incident that I got banned for. So let's have a look. That is right, you have read it correctly, the title. I have been banned from iRacing indefinitely. It says, from the email from iRacing, it is with regret that we write to you to inform that a decision has been made with regard to the protest filed against you. The details of the protest are below. Intentional wrecking continues to violate sporting code / terms of service and shows a lack of respect towards their fellow competitors. Your account will be restricted from all aspects of iRacing.com indefinitely. We apologise for the formality of this notice, but in experience shows blah, 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 blah. All of that. So, what happened? Let's go through and have a quick geeze. So, this was in a Skippy race, and this is what happened. I was leading the race, last lap, couple of corners to go. Get rear-ended in an absolute fit of fury. As you can see from the intro to this video, it was not the first time I've been taken out in the last few days. And obviously I didn't get reported for that bit. It was this bit. Right there. I got reported for intentional wrecking when... Yeah, you're clearly sorry when you don't. Not too sure what else you're supposed to do, but you know, there's a bit of background story here as well. So let's just dive straight into it all. So this is the same driver again. He spins off at a different race in at Oran Park, comes straight back onto the track, which is all at this stage is all fair enough. And then I come around the corner, not knowing what was going on. Bit of netcode there, ruined my car, and it's race over basically. So when that sort of stuff happens, I've saved that replay to report it, looked back at it and went, you know what? iRacing's going to do absolutely nothing about that. Let's not worry about it. So I don't. Next one, I was actually the same driver again that took me out in the one that I've been banned for. Had an awesome race, and you can even hear here, I will keep the audio in, you can hear that we've had a great race, and watch what happens. Damn it! Oh no! Good race, man. Oh! Oh, look, that was dumb. Thanks, Mitch. That is true. And this is from outside the car of what happened. So just over the line, locks it up with someone right behind him. And there is another instance of him doing that as well in another race that didn't affect me. I was going to include the footage of that, but figured You can't see exactly who it is. You can see his name up on the top left that he's up in front of me. And then you see black smoke, and there's no incident caused out of that. But it's something that he's been doing, which in my mind is a lot more reckless and careless than what I just did after he was even more reckless and careless and took me out. So, you know, there's always two sides to this sort of a story. And, you know, I've been on iRacing for 12-ish years. I own all the content. I've been a long-time supporter of iRacing. I tend to have given up on their protest system. I started off protesting a lot of people. Nothing was done about it. You know, always saying we don't feel like they've done it intentionally or anything like that. So after a little while, I thought, you know what? They're never going to learn if iRacing don't tell them that they're making mistakes. I don't care if they get banned or not. They just need to be warned and say, look, tidy up your driving. But, yeah, that doesn't seem to happen. So what I've started getting the most blatant takeout incidents and reporting those ones. For example, this one. Gaining. Bit of a risky move there for me, I know, but it worked. I think that was... He was absolutely trying to get me there. So, after that one, I protested that. And what I got back from iRacing, I'll put the email up on the screen. After reviewing the replay, we understand your frustration, but we do not feel that either driver caused the accident intentionally or with malice. Well, technically that's probably true because there wasn't an incident. He missed. But there was definitely malice in that. He was trying to get me. So, you know, that one I can sort of half understand, but still, that driver should have had a bit of a warning and said, look, we see what you did. You stuffed up. You took yourself out. Bit of instant karma, I guess. But anyway, let's move back on to the next one. Same cars, same series. Ferrari GT3 fixed and exactly the same corner. I made the same move. Let's watch this. That was more than fair there. And then that was borderline. That was all right. He had a half look there, but that was all good. And then this one. Come from absolutely nowhere. I gave him room. He was never making that. What an idiot. Right, so let's go through a couple of things. I got the exact same email back about this one. So, you know, they felt like that neither driver did it intentionally. And I want to go over a couple of things here. So let's go back and have a look at the original pass on me. When I pass him, you can clearly see that I am up next to him. I've got the car under control. I'm not going to run wide. He doesn't leave much room, but there's a car width there. So like at the apex, he turns in like I wasn't there, which he probably should have given a bit more room. I know it was a late dive and all that, but that's what you do. You've got to try and leave a bit of room when, regardless of if it's on or not. You don't want to die. So after that, we had a bit of a contact, which I don't think is my fault. I think he probably should have left a bit more room. And all good. The next corner, he does bomb it in like the other guy did, but not as bad. He keeps his car on the track. So that's the first sign that I thought, all right, something's going to come here. So it looks like he tries to take me out there, but doesn't. He misses. And then the next one, he comes from much further back than, you know, what you can on a braking area of the size that, you know, we're going into. He's probably coming back as far as what I did in the first braking area to make the first pass, but half quarter of the braking distance to do it in. So obviously it's never going to work. And once he gets anywhere near the apex, he's already towards my left rear. And as you can see, I'm already more than a car width off the racing line to give him room because I see him coming. And as you see, he hits me and we both spin. I spin worse. He keeps going. No dramas. And yeah, same outcome of that. They didn't mean to do it. So there's a couple of things in all that. How can someone get nothing for blatantly getting taken out when what I've done was after an incident? I know intentional retaliation and all that sort of stuff is not good, but after everything that's happened, the one time I've done it, anything like that, was with a driver that has already taken me out a few times. And if I had have protested it, nothing would have happened. What's one to do? We're not going to sit around. We're race car drivers in the heat of the moment. A little bit of fury comes through and yeah, all good. But a permanent ban for that when after all of this stuff has happened, I just do not understand how iRacing justifies it. And well, according to their rules, it's every time you get a ban or a suspension or any sort of protest against your name, that continues. That carries over onto the next ban. So every time you do something wrong, it gets a little bit longer. So after your bans get longer and longer, a point comes in time where you then are banned indefinitely, which is now what's happened to me. Unfortunately, my previous 2 bans were not anything that I would consider bannable at all. One of the incidents was for intentional wrecking and retaliation. I was punted a few times during the race, but got away with it. I had a little bit of rear wing damage in a skippy race. And at the end of the race, after racing him for the rest of the race clean, over the line, I gave him a 0x. Sorry, after the line. After the finish of the race, I gave him a 0x. And that was just to let him know that I didn't appreciate the taps. So he reported me. I got banned. I got a couple of weeks for that. The next one was in an IndyCar in a Dallara Dash. I had massive damage from, I can't even remember what it was. I was badly damaged driving back around on the yellow line, very slow, half out of control because the car was that damaged, but you know, staying down the bottom. And the leaders come past. One of them pulled out. The guy in second pulled out to pass on the inside. I was there. He ran into the back of me, protested me for that in a Dallara Dash, which is for no points or anything. I was then told by iRacing that I should have just escaped out instead of driving back with a damaged car. So I'm not too sure what they mean by any of this, but it's very, very confusing on what they want you to do. It's either you race hard or you don't race at all. And as soon as there's any little bit of contact, you can either get banned. Even if you've been rear-ended by someone, you can still get banned for that somehow. And I've been banned for some very, very simple things. So what do I think that they should do about it? Well, I was going to redesign and actually do a full video on how I think the protest system should be laid out and how it should work. And I think it should all be integrated within the iRacing UI, the new UI, rather than the email system that they've got going at the moment. I think it should be transparent, so anyone should be able to see what anyone's driving record is. I feel like there should be a few points of view per decision made, especially when it comes to a ban, because ban, you know, for some of us guys, it's all we do. It's our hobby. It's our one hobby. I know there's other sims out there that I could go and do, but nothing's as good as iRacing in terms of online competition. So I think that they need to take a little bit of consideration into each individual incident rather than you know, judging one incident off previous things. No other series does that. Some series do acquire up points, and after a certain amount of points, you then, you know, might have a race suspension or something like that. So a week suspension would be fair. But then after that, you get your points back and you start again. So, you know, driving on the road, same sort of thing. So over 12 years, I have now acquired enough points basically to warrant a ban, apparently. But I have done a lot more races than the average Joe on iRacing. I counted it up the other day. I can't remember. I can't no longer see any of the iRacing members' websites, so I can't get exact figures. But on road racing alone, I've probably nearly done 2,000 races. That's just on road. Then there's oval, dirt road, all that sort of stuff as well. So I've done quite a lot of racing. So if there was a percentage value on how many times I've been protested compared to how many races I've entered, I think the number would be quite low. But they don't factor in any of that. So yeah, I do not know what to do from here. Obviously, I'm going to appeal the latest decision, but I still thought that I should put out a video of some sort to sort of show what is going on. You know, that entire intro with all those incidents, nobody's got time to sit down and report every single incident, regardless of how minor it is. So, you know, if I was to do and report every single one of those incidents, it takes a very long time, and I know that half of them would be classed as mistakes. So I just don't bother reporting them. And then when you do get one that's worth it, like the couple that I've showed you, they still come back as, you know, they didn't do it intentionally. So how they can say that I'm doing everything intentionally when nobody else is doing anything intentionally is, it's very one-sided. So fingers crossed this all goes well and I'm back racing, because I do love iRacing more than any other sim. It's online competition for the most part is great. And I've got quite a lot of footage of great races as well on my Twitch. I was going to include that in this video as well, but it is getting quite long now. So maybe that's another one I can do in a few days' time to back this one up on the good side of it. But the only bad side of iRacing in my mind is the protest system. It's not working. So thanks for watching, and hopefully see you on track soon.